Morning, boys and girls. Another day approaches. Another rather nice day you're looking outside. It's Wednesday, the 15th of April, 2020. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk. Chris Reardon here with you for the next hour or so, boys and girls. So here we are, halfway through April again. God, we lost March. We're going to lose April as well, aren't we? Nothing to do. Unbelievable. It really is. Good morning to you. Bit bitter and cold out there again this morning. It's not too bad, but it's nice and bright here in Berkshire. It does say that we're going to get a load more heat coming over. It says bookies, the betting people, are already slashing odds. April could be the hottest on record. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, we had a couple of days, for God's sake, they go on about these heat waves, don't they? You want to go to Australia, that's where they have heat waves. Sometimes I see stories in sort of November, October. We've had a couple of hot days in October before, where it gets to like 75 degrees Fahrenheit, about 20 centigrade. And there's all in the papers. Oh, heat wave is here. Heat wave. No, it's not a heat wave. A heat wave is when it gets to 30 or 35 degrees and it hangs around for days, weeks sometimes. Do you remember that beautiful summer a couple of years ago? Oh, wow. That just went, I know it got a little bit too much for some of you, but I love it. I love it, especially with getting air conditioning. Because when you've had enough, you just go in the house, or in my case, the caravan. It says bookies are already slashing odds. April could be the hottest on record. Temperatures set to soar again tomorrow. Okay, when they say soar again, it's about 25. So 80 Fahrenheit, 25 centigrade. When I do the conversions, they're always approximate. Don't want some clever sod on here. Ow, you've got that wrong. All they do is sit there and look for faults all the time, like the people on Facebook. Temperature in Britain will soar to, it's 21, will soar to nearly 21 centigrade. Soar to 21 degrees. Around about 20, 42, 50, about 70. I mean, it's hardly soaring, is it? Last week, despite parts of the country having seen lows of -7 since Easter bank holidays, so that will be right up at the top of Scotland, where only 2 people and a sheep live. I feel sorry for that sheep living there all on its own, dear. You'd think they'd get them some friends, wouldn't they? And they live in a little stone hut, these 2 people and the sheep, all together. The reason the sheep lives with them is to keep them warm, because they have no electricity, they got nothing except -7 degrees of temperature. The cold snap, which has swept the UK, this is in the Daily Mirror this morning, saw North East England plunged well before zero on Tuesday night, but it quickly thawed. By Thursday, locked down Brits, I can only dream of being locked down Brits will once again be basking in summer-like heat, with forecasters predicting highs of 21 degrees centigrade in the south. Well, that'd do me. I'm quite happy with 21. Very happy with 21. It won't quite hit the 25 over the bank holiday, which saw a sudden decline. Well, we did notice that on Monday, didn't we? Sunday, 25. Monday, 13. God, it was so cold when I left the house. Dear me. So that's the weather news there happening for you. Wow. Last night, Holby City. Well, I didn't see that. Very, very clever episode last night of Holby City. So the programme is set up and we knew that something was going to happen. One of my favourite programmes on the telly, Holby City. I love it. We knew that something was going to happen between Cameron, who's the dodgy doctor who keeps avoiding getting done for killing someone, okay? Because he didn't like this bloke. I mean, you wouldn't have liked this bloke either, to be honest. The part he played was a really nasty character. Let me just fill you in with this if you're not a Holby City. He played a really nasty character who was horrible to people, right? Anyway, turns out he has some sort of, I can't remember what happens now, a heart attack or an accident, irrelevant really. So he's in the critical care department. What's that called? Intensive care unit, where Boris Johnson stayed, possibly not in the same bed. Okay? So he's in there and he's lying there, and one of the doctors who doesn't like him, and he doesn't like the doctor, is talking to him over the bed. And the bloke who's laying in the bed is just being vile to him. Absolutely vile. This is weeks ago. This story has been running for weeks and weeks. I tell you that now. And all of a sudden, he has some sort of seizure or heart attack. And then he starts saying, get me oxygen, get me oxygen. Well, the doctor doesn't. He leaves him there. And he has a heart attack. And the machines go off, don't they? Boo! Oh, I'd love to hear that noise when it comes to some people. I'll tell you that now. Boo! I can't do it with that. Can I? No, it's quite a high-pitched one, isn't it? I can't get that high, you see. I've got a naturally deep butch voice. Boo! Boo! Oh, maybe I've got one here. Hang on, I might have it here as an effect. Hang on a minute. Effect. Have I got that here? Here we are. Tones. 200 hertz. Let me see if this one does it. No, it's not high enough. 20 hertz. Let's try that one. Oh, no. No, that's not it. Sounds like a fart, that one, doesn't it? Let's try 50. Oh, no, dear. Horrible noise. Or 90. Or maybe I haven't got one here. No, I haven't got one here. I use those tones to test my equipment. I haven't got one here. So the tone comes up, beep, and then he starts I think he starts shaking and having a fit. And he's begging this doctor for oxygen. Doctor just stands there and looks at him. And then he leaves the room. Of course, the bloke dies. He dies. So did he kill him or didn't he? Well, he didn't do anything to save him, did he? Anyway, so Dr. Xavier doesn't like Dr. Cameron, okay? There's always this thing going on. Well, come weeks and weeks forward, Dr. Xavier has realised and found out and now has proof that Cameron didn't do anything to help that person, basically killed him. So this has been building up for weeks, this is. So Dr. Xavier meets him in the basement for some reason because Cameron realises that he now knows. And Cameron is really worried that he's going to get done. All right? So Cameron sends him a text message and says, meet me in the basement. And think, oh, someone's going to be stabbed there. Now, not only this, it became obvious that someone was going to die in this episode because you had a little old lady who had something wrong, possibly with I can't remember what organ now. I can't remember now. And she was sent home because they couldn't do the operation, right? But when she got down in the lift, she had some sort of attack. And then she was rushed back up. I thought, oh my God, she's going to die. And there was someone else in there who was going to die as well. And it looked like these two were going to die, right? So come back to the altercation. Well, not really an altercation. The meeting in the basement of the hospital between Cameron and Dr. Xavier. Okay, so they had a bit of a tete-a-tete. And Xavier's saying, look, I've got the proof here. And he produces one of those little things. What are they called? You know, these things. That what you plug in the USB and give you memory, those things, right? He's put, I've got the proof here. And he walks off, you know, cocksure, walks off like that with his little thing. Cameron's standing there. Anyway, Cameron decides to follow him, okay? So I thought, oh my God, Cameron is now going to kill this man. He's going to kill another one to save himself. Anyway, so they go outside and then Dr. Xavier goes to walk across the road. Cameron's sort of hanging behind him so that he can't see him, right? He walks across the road, a cyclist hits him and he's dead. He gets knocked out, hits his head on the pavement and that's it. He doesn't wake up again. Take him into hospital, done a brain scan, dead. I didn't see that coming. So very, very exciting episode of Holby. See, you need to be into these things, dear. Holby City is excellent. You've got to watch that. Holby City on BBC One Colour on Tuesday nights. They will probably run out of episodes at some point because they're doing no filming whatsoever at the moment, unfortunately. But absolutely fantastic. All right, so that's Holby City. Then I watched the quiz. This is all after we did our quiz here last night. The quiz, which is on the ITV Hub. We've had 2 of those episodes so far, and it is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. I had no idea what was going on with that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I never used to watch it, to be honest. I might dip in or out of it. I didn't watch it religiously. It was hugely popular years ago when it was on, headed by the excellent Chris Tarrant. And it just... I'm amazed at what was going on with the amount of cheating that were going on. There was this group of people who were cheating. and it's all obvious. And then we got to the bottom where they're coughing there. And the young lad in the sound room realised there was something going on in there, but they couldn't place their fingers on it. It's really good. Watch that, the quiz on the ITV Hub. And talking about quizzes, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the quiz that we played here last night. Every Tuesday is quiz night here on United Kingdom Tour. 8 o'clock on Tuesday nights is our quiz. I'm just not sure about that music round. I'm really not. It's about the best I can do, I'm afraid, that music round. And I'm just not a professional player, and I listened back to it and I thought, I don't know about this music round, really. It don't sound too good to me. But we did it and we got away with it. One of the tunes I played was the theme for Soap. Do you remember that? Soap? In the 1970s. Ba, 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 which was just hilarious. I think I was about 16 or 15, 16, 17, 18 at the time. And I was living in Roehampton, of course, with my mum and dad's, and my sister at the time. And I had a best friend, Steve Short, who was probably the best friend I've ever had. Really, Steve Short, I reckon, was probably the best friend. You have several best friends throughout your life, many best friends throughout your lifetime. Probably Steve Short was the best friend I ever had, and I could always rely on him. Pick up the phone, he'd be there, he'd come round, and it was wonderful. And on a Friday night, we used to go round to his house, and I'd be sitting there with him, his sister, who I fancied, Leslie at the time, because I didn't know I was gay then, his sister, and his mum, Bobby Short, and his dad, Dave. And they were a wonderful family. And we used to always go around there on a Friday night and watch Soap together. And his mum would make this beautiful fruit cake. Really, really nice fruit cake. Like big, thick slices, though. Proper slices. And we'd sit there eating cake and watching Soap. And it was very, very funny at the time. It was about all these people. And they all had some sort of mental disposition. Except the butler, who was Benson. And Benson, of course, in later years, he got his own TV series. It was really good. Really, really good soap. So I played the theme music to that last night. And what you don't know is the classical piece last night I played, which was It was Snow White, wasn't it? Anyway, when I recorded that piece, I had the answer written down as Swan Lake. And what I didn't tell you last night was literally minutes before, I'm looking at my list of answers, because I had them all written down here. What I do is play them on the piano, and then I write them all down like a bit of paper, you see. And that's what I got written on my piano. And then I come out here and sort of number them so I know what's what. And I thought, I've got Swan Lake written there. And I thought, do you know, I'm not sure that's Swan Lake. And I thought it must be. And literally, with a couple of minutes to go before I clicked the go live button, I thought, this ain't right. So I rung up a mate and I said, listen, I've got a tune here that I've listed as Swan Lake. I don't think it's right. He said, go on, play me the tune. He said, no, it's Sleeping Beauty. I said, you sure? He said, go on, quickly, look it up on the YouTube. And I did, and he was right. So I had that completely wrong, that answer last night, but never mind. That's all sorted now. I'm hoping some of your parcels arrive today, if not all of them. All your letters, fridge magnets, T-shirts, whatever has been selected, either won or bought over the last couple of days. They all went off, some of them on Monday when I cycled down to the delivery office, and the rest, of course, that you bought on yesterday, went yesterday. Okay, they were in the post box by 12 o'clock, so you may well get those this morning. All right, thanks very much for your messages. I'll come to those in a second or two. Turning on the telly in the morning now is just a blooming nightmare. It really is. You just can't get anything other than virus stories. Now, it is, of course, the most important thing happening at the moment, and we're all trying to keep safe and avoid this damn bug thing. We really are. But just story after story, and it's all a bit samey. You know what I mean? There's people being interviewed that have gone through it and come out the other end telling us how bad it was for them. They go into the hospitals and places and they interview people with the masks on that, you know, sadly look like they've got a few hours left to live. Possibly some of them have. Then we have the families on of people who have sadly, lost their lives to this damn thing. And it's all very awful. It's all very awful. And I know it's news, but for God's sake, give us something else to lighten up the bleeding mood. Dear me. On and on. BBC Breakfast is the worst one. It's the worst one for this. On and on and on about people dying, which of course there are. But I'm thinking, give me something else, please. Something amusing or at least something different. Man, I don't know, the train goes along and derails. At least it would be something different from the same story going on. And it really is. It's the same stories that come up, different people being interviewed, but all with the same story. I've been ill, I've got better, it was as bad as this, or I'm really ill now, please don't go out. And I understand they're trying to get the message across, but I've just turned over. I turned over to ITV. Piers was doing exactly the same thing. But then there was a ray of light, boys and girls. There was a ray of light. I turned over onto Sky News. Sky News. And they were running a story about the holiday industry, airlines and all that. And they were saying that there are many airlines that are weeks away from bankruptcy. Weeks away from bankruptcy. And even if this stopped tomorrow, right? If tomorrow came by some miracle from the Lord himself, because lots of people had been doing Our Fathers and Hail Marys. If a miracle came tomorrow and the virus suddenly stopped, it suddenly stopped. No more infections, no more deaths. Okay, if that stopped tomorrow, you wouldn't be able to just turn everything back on again. It all takes a while. All takes a while to start going. A lot of people who work in the industry will be ill themselves. Plus, do you want to get on a plane at the moment? Even when they tell you, no, everything's all right now, carry on as normal. Will you? Because I won't. Not until I'm satisfied there's no one dying anymore. Do you want to go and sit on a plane with, 500 other people who they are telling you are probably all right? I won't. And there's, if you think you're going to get cheap airlines, well, there's a story here that I found interesting this morning. The cost, and this is in the Sun, the cost of your plane ticket could double the price compared to pre-lockdown, according to the experts. It doesn't say you're going to get cheap flights. You would think that would happen, wouldn't you, to entice people back onto planes and travelling and boats as well. Boats as well. Because you've seen these stories. One person gets the virus on the boat. The next thing you know, the boat is no longer allowed to dock. You are stuck on that boat. And then 2 people get it, and then 5, and then 10. It must be absolutely terrifying being stuck on a boat like that. It says the cost of your plane ticket could double the price compared to pre-lockdown, according to experts. Airlines will be able to fly again once the lockdown due to coronavirus has been lifted, but with airfares being much more expensive. While carriers will be able to fly passengers around the world once again, it's likely that they will still be forced to follow social distancing guidelines. Well, at least you'll have a bit of space. There's nothing worse than being jammed up against someone else in a plane, is there? Eh? Oh, it's just awful. That's why I won't go in the economy seats. I save up and go in the posh seats on the plane. Don't bother about the hotel. You don't need a 5-star hotel. Just go in a room as long as you've got a toilet, a shower and a TV and a comfortable bed, preferably without bed bugs or lily beetles. You might have a bit more space on the planes. Although 2 metres, I can't see that somehow. There'd only be 6 people on the plane, wouldn't there? Dear. It says while carriers will be able to fly passengers around the world once again, it's likely they will still be forced to follow social distancing guidelines. If airlines are only allowed to sell half of the tickets on a flight, well, that's not going to help, is it? On a plane, you are stuck in this tube. Someone sneezes behind you, it's going to come forward, isn't it? If airlines are only allowed to sell half their tickets on a flight, this could mean at least doubling the cost of the flight compared to pre-lockdown to maintain a profit. Well, how are you going to do that? How are they going to do that then? I know people that practically borrow money to go on holiday. If you can just about stretch to the £100 to go to Italy or whatever. I have no idea what the price is. When that becomes £200, well, you can't afford it. Who's going to get on the planes? Only very, very rich people. An industry expert has said this will have a knock-on effect for travellers, with airlines being forced to pass on the increased prices. This has been reported in the Telegraph, that there will be a mad rush and a price surge for flights, but that continued social distancing is to be expected. Oh, you stupid git! I've forgotten to do something. I'm so sorry, gang. I've completely forgotten to put the programme on their various Facebook walls, and people wait for that. Oh dear me! 1 minute. Let's just quickly do that. Better late than never, as many people say when they appear on the channel, to be honest. Let's just do this quickly. Won't take long. There we are. Fancy forgetting that, Chris. I was dealing with other little things in here this morning. That's why this has happened. 1 minute. Radio shows. BBC television presentation? Well, probably not that one. There we are, that one there. Alexa, karaoke. No. Internet. Blogging. Radio DJs. And is that done? That's it. Nearly done. There you go. Didn't take too long, did it? Didn't take too long. On the Sky News programme, they were saying that the cheaper airlines, like Ryanair, EasyJet, they should be all right for quite a long time because they run cheaply. It's the big airlines, some of which will just disappear completely, others which will be swallowed up by perhaps larger airlines. I don't know where our very own British Airways would sort of weigh on that sort of side of thing, whether they're a big airline or not. But that wasn't the best part of watching the Sky News this morning. It was interesting. Interesting to see something else other than people very sick and dying. And I'm sorry that there are so many people very sick and dying. I hope it doesn't happen to anyone on this channel. I really do. But you think, oh, I don't want to see this anymore. So it was interesting to see the story about the airlines. But what the best part of it was, Kay Burley wasn't there. Yeah, baby. That was the big bonus. I'm waiting for old Kay Burley to appear with a miserable face. Mind you, she's not the most miserable person on the media. Oh no, that's got to be James O'Brien on LBC. What an unfortunate looking man. He just got a permanent, disgusted look on his face. He just seems to hate everyone and never laugh at anything at all. What a boring life he leads. I don't listen to that. No, thank you very much. So she's not the most miserable person, but she's quite close to it. Ice Queen, Kay Burley, not on the news this morning. Thank you, Lord. Must have been because I went to church on Sunday. That's why that. So that's the endless virus stories there. And they go on about these figures, dear. These people have died. These people, for God's sake, give me some other news. Give me some other news. And it's a real struggle, as I said, coming in here in the morning, trying to pick up news stories that don't go on and on about the virus all the time. Well, of course, we have to mention it here and there. Of course we do. Biggest story going. But we don't just go on and on about it all the time. Anyway, so they had some Scottish bloke on there. He was all right, bit lacking in personality, to be honest. But he was okay. It was okay. The bloke doing the Sky News this morning. Don't know what his name is. Alrighty. But I cut my hair yesterday ago. I hate doing this. It takes ages. I've got to tell you. The front's all right. It's when you get to the back. And it's so difficult. What I have, I've got a big mirror in the utility room. Great big mirror. I've been in there for years, right? And I'm kind of holding the mirror, another mirror behind me, or an iPad, and trying to do it like that. It's so difficult. And you move your head, and I don't know if it's the fact that you've got two mirrors there. You move your head, and you move this thing, and you think it's moving in the right direction, and it's not. It's going the opposite direction. It would be a lot easier if there was someone else using a clipper. I have no doubt in my mind, if I had my mate round here and I said, can you cut my hair for me? He'd be able to do it because he's standing over you and he can see it all. That can't be that difficult. It's when you're doing it yourself. Perhaps anyone who's got any tips, you can share them on here, all right? Right, let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Jason Hughes. Morning to you. Michael Pullman there in sunny Australia where they have proper heat waves. Proper heat waves. Good morning, Michael. Hello to Rachel. Michael Lawrence. Heidi's there. Good morning, Heidi. Hello to Sprinter Van. Good morning to you. Tony Power in the house. Hello to you. Diane Jebb. Greetings, Diane. Hello to all our silent viewers as always. Good morning, silent viewers. Good morning to George Bond. Michael Lawrence there. Let's have a look. Scotty Godwin. Evening, Scotty. Adam the Plumber in the house. Morning. Hello to John Parrish in his caravan. Morning, John. LaBelle, your emerald-eyed butterfly of magic, is here, chatting away as usual, LaBelle. I did show your photo yesterday. Were you with us yesterday morning? I brought your photo up that you last sent in. Oh, by the way, we have a photo to show you today. Who wants to see Mick's Victoria Sponge this morning? Is that tempting you? Mick's Victoria Sponge. We need for that 22 likes. We've got 9 at the moment. Mick's Victoria Sponge is in your hand. If you want to see Mick's Victoria Sponge, you need to hit the little thumbs up button underneath this video box. Okay? Once we get to 22, I shall reveal in all its glory Mick's Victoria Sponge. Do you know, if I could buy one off Mick and then give it out as prizes, I would do. His cooking is absolutely delicious, Mick's, I'll tell you that now. Morning to Colin Coates. Good morning to Roy Brownlow, Gary Davidson, Tony Powell. You're so cruel. Poor sheep. The only thing he's going to see is the inside of the oven. Jason Hughes. Oh, we said hello to him already, haven't we? Jason Hughes texting in there. Is that everyone there? Let's have a look. Paul and Lou. Hello to you. Nice and early today. Paul and Lou. Adrian Richardson. Morning to you. Michael Lawrence is getting bored of the news. I am. I'm sorry. This is not to make light of people who are dying. It's not at all. It's terrible when you see them on there crying and all that. But I mean, how many people do we have to see crying and saying the same old story? It's awful. It's awful. And I pray that none of us are. We're all very careful and it doesn't happen to any of us. All right. That's jumped right forward there. Let me just come back a little bit there and see what interest there is. Good morning to Mari Lowe. Morning, Mari. She enjoyed the quiz last night. Thank you. Good. I'm glad you are. 4 new viewers to the quiz. So they joined in. Yeah, the more the merrier. The beauty of that quiz is there's no prize and there's no leaderboard, which puts everyone on a firm level. You know, I think it was a couple of occasions last night where someone didn't agree with the answer. Okay, fair enough. That's it. But there can be no confrontation because you say, okay, fine, that's it. Do you see what I mean? There can be no confrontation on that quiz because there's no prize. You can just imagine it, can't you? And it was the same when I was doing quizzes in not so much the Mayflower, but the King's Head Theatre Bar. There were always people Googling the blooming answers when you were trying to look them up. So, oh, well, that's not the right answer. So they'd have their answer, but then someone on another table would come out with yet another answer. And they're just all, because they're blinded by this blooming Google, and it's just impossible. It really is impossible. There's always a blooming expert, isn't there? That's the trouble. There's always an expert. People that want this confrontation all the time, where you say something and they come back with something completely opposite, or that they don't agree with you. And I just get fed up with that. You know, I do. I get fed up with it. If you can't have a decent conversation with someone all the time, what is the point of having constant confrontation or people who take an opposite opinion to you all the time? You just kind of switch off. That's why I don't listen to that idiot James O'Brien on the radio. He just makes me unhappy. All the negativeness, just constant negative. Taking the opposite view to all the time. You can only take that so much. You give up in the end, really. So that's the beauty. Because there's no prize or anything, what's the point in cheating? There is no point in cheating other than cheating yourself, you know. If someone comes on here and, you know, when we do the scores, okay, what scores did you get, we say, don't we? And it's only for fun. And some people are 8, 7, 2, 3, which is fine. That's it. It's interesting to know. If someone keeps putting 10, you think to yourself, well, why would you, you know, what, are you trying to make yourself look big or something? It's just mad, isn't it? Mad. Scrolling down there, chatting to each other. Good morning to Carol and Dave. Morning, Carol and Dave are in the house this morning. Good morning to you two. All right, hope you're well there. Nice to see Carol and Dave this morning. Steph Diamond is there. Morning, Steph. Fun thing to do with tech has just arrived. There's Dave-O. Morning, Dave. Hello, Claire. Can't watch live. Oh, she's got an important quote to get on with. You carry on, Claire. Don't let us interrupt your work. Do not let us interrupt your work, my darling. All right. Hello to Shania on the Isley of Widgets. Isley of Widget, good morning to you. Isley Widget. What else have we got there? Is that everyone? Claire can't stand the depressing. Claire, could you get on with your work, please, darling? You said you had work to get on with. Please don't join in. Don't come to me tomorrow saying, because of your show, I wasn't able to complete my work. Not my fault, my love. The choice is yours. The choice is absolutely yours. Claire can't stand the depressing news. Can't they give us positive stuff right now? It's the journalists looking for a sensation. I can't stand it. I don't like the interview techniques of a lot of these younger journalists. Well, they're not just the young ones. A lot of these journalists that are on the telly now. And it's been going on for some years. The aggressive interviewing techniques that they have now. Old Dimbleby was never like that, was he? You remember David Dimbleby? That was proper. There's a proper interviewer. He knew how to talk to people. Some of these people, I'm not a massive fan of Trump, I'll be honest. But when you hear some of those news people, the way they talk to him, what they don't like is that he gives it back. You see, as indeed I would. He gives it back to them. You may or may not be a fan of Trump. Probably most of you aren't. Okay? I get that. I understand that. But the point is, they are aggressive, these interviewers. And they shout and they scream. And we had that one screaming racist at him. Remember that? Do you remember that one? I've done a little TikTok video about I hope it's amusing, TikTok video about that. And she says, why are you calling this the Chinese virus? This interview goes, what has this virus got to do with the colour of someone's... And she says it's racist. And he says, it's not racist. She says, but it is. And he says, it's not racist. It comes from China. Therefore, it is a Chinese virus. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. Whether or not you're a fan of his. I'm not a particular fan of his. Especially at the moment, he's cut off a load of funding, doesn't he? To the WHO or whatever. But he's absolutely right. And these blooming left-wing wokies who scream racist or homophobia at the slightest thing that happens. Oh, I get on my nerves. They really do. Let's have a look. Good. Well, we've got some other stories here as well. We've got some raffle tickets to give out, okay? Don't forget, we have a raffle every Monday. If you're new to the show, welcome along. You could win one of these. We have a raffle every Monday, and on every show we give out raffle tickets. And later on in today's show, we'll be giving out some raffle tickets there, all right? Okie doke. Now, let's see. How many likes have we got there? What did we say? 22? 19 likes so far. Another 3 likes. And you'll be able to see the delightful Mick Davenport's wonderful cakes this morning. All right, so stand by for that. Claire can't tear herself away from the telly. Morning to Sean Pye. He's just got up this morning. Better late than never. Carol and Dave had a family quiz on Saturday night in fancy dress via WhatsApp. Oh, that's good, isn't it? WhatsApp. I deleted WhatsApp. I actually deleted it. I got fed up with the constant barrage of pictures and videos and messages. I just got so fed up with it. It happens both on WhatsApp and also on Facebook Messenger. And you send people nice messages, please stop sending them, and they continue to come. Either that or they block you for asking people not to sell it. Steph, I'm Donald. I'm Boris. Together we are Doris. That's quite good, isn't it? Now, talking of dressing up, actually, we've had a story this week as well about people, or last week I think it was, people dress up now to take their bins out. Just as a bit of fun. They dress up, beautifully. Beautiful ball gowns in the ladies and the blokes in suits and nice costumes and the gays and some of them in drag and all that. And that's the only time we're getting to dress up. They dress up to put their bins out. Well, there's another way of doing this. Already Carol and Dave said they did the fancy dress there. Did fancy dress. Lead roles. It says here, a dancer in The Sun today. A dancer has gone viral after donning a range of elaborate fancy dress costumes for her daily dog walk. She dresses up to take the dog for a walk. Her name's Claire. Oh, it's not Claire. It's not you, is it, Claire? Claire Murden, 40, started taking her Labrador Hendrix, 8, out for a stroll in Cornwall in full costume in an effort to cheer up her neighbours. And there's one costume she's got, there's hardly any material there, dear. She's practically naked. She's got like a flowery thing here over her chest, a little bit on her belly button and around her other lady's parts there. And that's all she's got on. And just walking this beautiful Labrador. Lovely dogs they are, aren't they? It says, and she's got various other outfits. Another one she's got is like a wedding dress. And another one is like this black thing. She looks like a very drunk lady with messed hair and lipstick all gone wrong. And she's walking along with this bottle of champagne or something, walking the dog. I love it. It's a video, and you can see it on The Sun. The hilarious video, which was filmed by her husband, has now racked up thousands of views. She features in a variety of funny outfits, including a superhero. This is an idea for you with your dogs. A superhero, a spa lover, a unicorn, and even Tiger King's Carole Baskin. Claire said, because I run a dance school, I've got a lot of costumes which I make myself. Very talented to be able to do that, aren't they? Don't you think? People who make stuff. And that goes like whether it's costumes or my sister makes these. My sister, look how good they're made. I think you must be very talented to do things like this. People who can paint and draw, you know, people who can make things. My brother-in-law, people who can fix things. You know, we all know that bloke who your car breaks down, he comes over, lifts the bonnet, pulls a couple of things out, and it starts working again. How do they do that? How? How is that even possible? That you haven't had to take it into a garage? There's so many different talents. Everyone's got a talent. Everyone's got a talent. You just have to find it. You have to find what you're good at. Now, I absolutely honest. Don't come back to me and say, oh, you're really good or anything like that. I'll be absolutely honest, and I've always had a very low opinion of everything that I do. I'm absolutely serious. I've never felt I was particularly good at anything I do. But you see some of these other blokes and girls and ladies and boys who are very, very good at stuff. Look on the TikTok videos at people who do stuff on there. And not just videos, but other things. Like I just said, fixing cars. Oh, you've got a leak on your roof? Oh, I'll go and fix it for you. Boy climbs up a roof, does something, comes back down. All done now. Thank you very much. £500, please. Even the bloke who came and put the heating and air conditioning in my caravan. You know, I watch him work and he puts this big box on there and runs these pipes all perfectly straight and square where it turns at the bottom there. I'm thinking, wow, that is a talent. Everyone's got a talent. You just got to find out what it is and try lots of different things until you find. Painting. These people who do graffiti. Okay, I'm not talking about the ones who put all swear words and rude pictures. People who do proper graffiti. What's that bloke's name called? You know, the one who just appears and you never see who it is. That bloke who does these arts. What's his blooming? I can't remember his name now. The graffiti bloke. Very, very talented to be able to do something like that, aren't you? Anyway, so it goes on. Laughter is the best medicine. It absolutely is. Look at my friend, non-Irish Mary from Ireland, who we lost last year. Laughed about her cancer until the day she died. She just kept taking the mick out of her own cancer. Never forget, she came into Central Station once, and her head was in a different shape. And she said, I don't know how I'm able to sit here with half my brain. She's operation the other day, they scooped half my brain out. She carried on joking about it. Laughter is the best form of medicine. Thank you, Sean Banksy. That's the one, Banksy. Banksy, what a talented man he is. Yeah, you can be very rich if Banksy turns up while you're asleep, paints the side of your house. You get up and there's a painting there. If you want to take the side of that house down, put some new bricks there and sell it. Millions of pounds you get for that. I wonder if this show will ever be worth millions of pounds. You should be downloading this immediately to your computers. Because in years to come, when I have my own daily nighttime show on BBC One at 8 p.m, these shows will be worth a lot of money. They will. It says, I took a snap of myself, this lady, and sent it to my friends. And one of them says, I bet you won't go for a walk like that, when she put a costume on. When she said that, how could I not? After I posted the first video clip online, people said watching it was the highlight of their day. I realised just how much of a bad time a lot of people must be having at the moment and how everyone needed something to laugh about. So there we are. There's an idea for you. Not only do you need to dress up to take your bins out, but also to take your dogs for walks. Isn't that an excellent idea? Come on, you've got all those good clothes in there, getting all dusty. Wear them. Wear them. Morning to Simon. I am a retro man. I see the audio cassette there. I have an audio cassette. There's all sorts of stuff here that hasn't been in a machine for ages. I said the other day, I need to find a machine to put that in. I've got one here somewhere, probably in the loft. I don't like going up there. Spiders. We don't like spiders, I'm afraid. Don't like spiders. How are we doing for those likes? 21. One more like. Oh, dear. One more like and you'll be able to see Mick's Victoria sponge. Okay. Thank you very much. Mick's good at lot of things. DIY, cooking and being annoying. Well, you're not very good at being annoying, actually, Mick. You're only good at being annoying is if I take notice of it. And I don't take a notice of annoying people. I've learned this. My friend at BBC Radio Lincolnshire told me this. Is that if someone just gets on your nerve, just start ignoring them. So that's what I do. So you can't be annoying anymore. Because I don't read the message. Up to you. You can put something interesting there for us all to know. Or you can be constantly annoying. The choice is yours. The choice is yours, Mick. Can we have another couple of little angry faces today from you? You haven't done any angry faces this morning. Adam, Banksy is a graffiti artist. Yes, and very good at it too. He is very good at it too. Yeah, Rachel will be getting ready to put the picture of the spiders on there, won't she? We don't like... Do you like spiders, Mick? I think you should do a cake in the form of a spider with black... Can you get black icing? I suppose you can you? Or licorice. Licorice. I'm not a fan of licorice. Don't like licorice. There you go. There's the spiders. I knew they'd be there. Thank you, darling. As you can see, I've cut my hair again. It's all right, isn't it? I don't know where my nephew is this morning. He's usually here somewhere. Adam's got hundreds of downloaded episodes of United Kingdom Talk Vaults. And also the Shrine as head of vintage episodes. He also has the original mirror ball from the studio. He does. The mirror ball dropped off once, years ago, literally while I was doing the show. It nearly knocked me out. It fell off. It wasn't on the chain, it was more on a piece of wire. And where the wire was turning all the time, it simply wore out. And I was sitting here doing a show, and this thing just suddenly dropped down. Just missed me head. That would have been a good video, wouldn't it? Tony, businesses that people will be reluctant to use after the corona, saunas, massage parlours, maybe even gyms. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right there. Okay, we've got 26 likes. Are you ready, boys and girls? Now, we're talking about people's talents. Credit where credit is due. Mick has a very good talent at doing cakes and baking things. Here is his latest creation, the Victoria sponge. Look at that. Perfection. I bet most of you do one of those. It'll be as flat as a pancake. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I would like... Actually, when you send in a little picture like that, Mick, can I request that you take a slice out so that we can see sort of inside it, if you don't mind? I'd like to see inside that cake. All right? Who wants a bit of that? Want a bit? You must want a bit of mixed cakes. Let me just have my peels while you're looking at that. Oh, well. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for your likes today. Every time you do a like, we'll have another picture. If you want to send in a picture, please just send in one picture. Anything you want. perhaps a picture of yourself. I don't care what it is. Perhaps a little hobby that you do, something like that. Then feel free to send that in, okay, to that email address there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you send it now, I can't show it now. I have to show it on the next show because it comes down onto another computer and then I have to transfer it across. I could do that, but it all takes time and it's a bit laborious to do all that rubbish. All right, my loves? Anything you want to send in, just one picture, then send it through and I'll happily display it for the millions of people that are joining us on this channel for them to look at. Okay? Good morning to John Aitken. My other half thinks I should apply for a Master Chef. He said, I've never made a bad meal in 19 years. I think that's why he's still with me. Yeah, and why the weight keeps going on as well, by the look of you, dear. To be honest. Good cook means fat people. Not really, darling, you know that. Although, I don't know. What did I have for dinner last night? Oh, I had my pizza last night. Oh, it was lovely. I had pizza and a little bit of garlic bread. I haven't got any garlic bread left. That's terrible. No garlic bread left. Terrible. But I think there's some more coming on my Morrison's order tomorrow. So much excitement for the Morrison's order tomorrow. I hope I've got garlic bread on there. I'll have to check that when I've finished. Good morning to Sabrina Walker. Morning, Sabrina. Lots of people saying about Michael's cake there. Where is the oozing cream? I don't know, Tony. Do you have cream in that? Is it a Victoria sponge? Mick, I got bored, Chris. Thanks, everyone. I'll take a photo of a slice if there's any left. I doubt that. Looking at you, I think you've had the whole thing, haven't you, Mick? It comes out the oven and he eats it. Bit like bread. That's deadly, isn't it? Homemade bread. Oh, as it comes out the oven, the smell... Well, not while it's still in the oven. The smell goes through the whole house. Don't you like that? I gave my bread machine away to my beautiful niece because bread where she is in Cyprus is very, very expensive. So I gave it to her. Probably the best thing to do, actually, because you just put so much weight on with bread machines. Never trust a slim chef. I like that, John. Mari, I made a Victoria sponge last week. It looked nothing like yours. That looks yummy. It does, doesn't it? He's very talented for that. Very, very talented. Already done that, Rachel. It should have cream in the middle. Tony's judging your thing there. Tony's judging your cake, Mick. Another one, judge and jury on there. It should have it. Oh, it's always experts everywhere, isn't there? Have you noticed that? There's always an expert somewhere wants to correct your hard work there. Yes. All right, some more stories. Anyone smoke those funny cigarettes? I would imagine there's one or two of you who smokes those funny cigarettes. I can't stand the smell. Oh, I can't bear it. Doesn't it travel a long way, the smell of funny cigarettes? Marijuana. That one. Marijuana. Those funny cigarettes, they stink. Sometimes I'm walking around here and you can smell it a mile and you look around and you know what that smell is. You know it straight away. You look around, you can't see anyone. So it must be coming out of someone's window. We don't really have it in these little row of houses there, but I walk around Bracknell sometimes or on my bike and I can smell it. And people are so obvious nowadays at smoking. I've seen people walking around the street just smoking this blooming stuff. They hold it like that, don't they? Oh, it's disgusting. Anyway, there may well be one or two of you who smoke it for medicinal purposes. I understand that. I understand if you've got some sort of nasty permanent pain. I've heard that it can relieve that. I understand that. But in the Daily Mail today, smoking marijuana, I know that's not how you say it, I can't say the word, even just occasionally could increase your risk of suffering complications from the virus. Doctors say cannabis leads to inflammation of the lungs, which affects the body's ability to fight off the virus. Now, of course, just like smoking, you will find people who say, well, I've smoked for 150 years and I didn't get cancer. You're lucky. You're lucky. It's always someone who comes back with a blooming answer like that, isn't there? Aren't they the most annoying people? Now you try and make a point and they just got an answer all the time which is opposite from your point. Why do they even bother? Just walk away. Doctors say cannabis leads to inflammation of the lungs. They didn't mention any side effects from smoking tobacco, interestingly, in this case. So it's the inflammation in the lungs. You've already got inflammation in the lungs, and then you get that nasty virus, which causes inflammation of the lungs. 2 and 2, not very good. What happens to your airways when you smoke cannabis is that it causes some degree of inflammation. I didn't know that. Very similar to bronchitis. Very similar to the type of inflammation that cigarettes smoking can cause cancer. Now you have some airway inflammation and you get an infection on top of it. So yes, your chances of getting more complications is there. So if you do smoke that stuff, you may well be more at risk of getting that nasty thing there, my darlings. All right. Let me just scroll up there, my loves. Dave says the Victoria Sponge looks excellent. It does, doesn't it, Dave? Dave, is the karaoke... Oh, of course it's not. It's closed, isn't it? What's the name of that bar in Cleethorpes I worked at? Was it Reflex? No. Gee, I've forgotten the blooming name of it now. What was the name of that bar I worked at in Cleethorpes? Did the karaoke carry on? It looked like it had finished even before it had closed. Perhaps you'll know that. Let us know. Tony's a qualified chef. Lovely. Ray Reynolds. Hello, hello. It ain't half quiet, mum. Heidi hi. Wonderful programmes. Put those on and you'll be in a good mood. You will be in a good mood there. Hey, look. Hey, I look the rowing now. Experts. Tony Power and Mick Davenport now are rowing about Victoria Sponges. I love it. Morning to Gary, British Talk Show. Hello to you, sir. How was your show this morning, Gary? Was it all right? I know you're doing an early show. Gary's British Talk Show. Now, you used to be able... You see those little... I think you've got little dots. Hang on a minute. Maybe let me have a look at how you see it. Just a second. Yes, there we go. So you see those 3 little dots. If you hover on the right-hand side of people's messages, those of you that are using the message box, okay, you'll see 3 little dots. Now, you used to be able to hover on those 3 dots, click them, and it would say, go to user's channel. But that doesn't seem to be available anymore for whatever reason. Let me see if I can find Gary's message. Oh, what have I done now? You silly sod. Hang on a minute. Oh, where's Gary's message? Gary, let me see if... Because Gary's got his own channel. Maybe it's because other people haven't got channels. No, can't do it anymore. Isn't that strange? I wonder why they removed that facility. But there you go. Gary does his own talk show every morning and a quiz show as well. Okay? So if you just, I don't know, highlight the name or something and find his channel like that. I think he's on about 8 o'clock in the morning. While I'm sitting there trying to put my show together, I see it's advertised there. So good morning to you, Gary. Hope your show was... How was your show this morning? Morning to Piggy Malone. We live in a tower block. People blow us smoke all the time. It's awful smell even in the summer. We have to close our windows. Oh, it really is. My mate used to live in London. He lives out here now. And his flat, like wooden floorboards, well, the bloke downstairs used to smoke it. He said it was awful. It would come up through the floor. And you know, that's the sort of smell, a bit like, you know, when you're doing some sort of cooking with spices and you leave a jacket in the kitchen where it's cooking and then you go out. I remember going round to my nephew's house, actually, and my nephew's wife said, she says, what's that smell? And I'm like, what smell? She's like, I had a hooded top on. She says, you smell foreign. I don't know what she meant like that. What do you mean? She said, I could smell spices. And I'd been cooking one of my campfire stews with loads of chilli and all that in it. And it had picked up the smell. Well, the marijuana smell is worse than that. It sticks on your clothes and it just... Have you ever been in someone's house who permanently smokes this blooming stuff? Oh, it's awful. The stench in these people's houses is just horrible. Really is. So I feel for you there. Who was it there? Piggy Malone. Piggy Malone. I do feel for you there, Piggy. John, just call it weed. There's a lot of it around Shepherd's Bush. Oh, don't we know that? Don't we know that, mate? Christ, you can be driving around that dreadful place in Shepherd's Bush. And I do feel so. I think we should have crowdfunding for John Aitken so that he can move out of Shepherd's Bush. What a dump. You go around this bit of green and they're all on there doing bad things, aren't they? And you drive around there and you can smell like the cars in front. People are smoking this stuff in their cars. And it drifts into you. I felt high just driving around there. And you close your windows, but it still gets in, doesn't it? Awful. Awful smell. I know that. Daniel, say marijuana. 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 There you go. That sounds better, doesn't it? Sounds like I'm blooming selling this stuff. No, there's none available for sale. We've run out. All I've got left is hats and t-shirts, my darling. Did we see Andy appear there? I might have missed that. Silhouettes Bar. Thank you. That's it. Silhouettes Bar. Silhouettes. That's all right, Gary. 8 o'clock, Gary does a talk show here. Hope that's going well. Michael, I don't have a problem with Mary Jane, as it's just a... Oh, is that what you call it? Mary Jane. Marijuana. Marijuana. Mary Jane, as it's just a plant and has health benefits and people don't get violent on it, unlike other hardcore drugs that I can't stand. Well, I don't like any of them. Really? No, not for me. Ray Reynolds, my 3 dots say 1 participants, 2 pop-out chat, 3 toggle time stab, 4 send feedback. That's right, Ray. That's right. There used to be another thing there that said go to channel. So if someone else, and there's plenty of other people do their own little shows here, like Gary, you used to click on the 3 dots and you could go to their channel. But that has disappeared over the last couple of days. I don't know why. Did I try StreamYard? No. I tend not to try other software if I'm happy with what I'm using, to be honest. Okay. All right. Good. You must have been to a chill-out party. There was always lots of weed at them. I didn't notice them really, John. No, I never really went to chill-out parties. I used to go to trade, get off my head in there, dance all night long, and then I would just come home or go home with someone. I'm sorry, that was me. Morning to Terry. Stayed in a hotel once, and that's all you could smell going up the stairs. Awful. Moved to a hotel the next night. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Tony, yes, I work with that person. Victoria Sponge, his name's Paul. He's a lovely bloke. Really, really nice chap he is, Paul Sponge. Paul Stone. He does dragging and all that business. Good. British Airways have had a little bit of a crash. It's all right, not in mid-air. They crashed into an Emirates jet. Who's driving these planes, dear? A British Airways jet crashed in the Daily Mail today into an Emirates plane on a runway at Dubai Airport on Monday night. This Airbus was only 6 months old. A350 was reversing from the gate, about to take off on a return flight to London, when it smashed into the Emirates Boeing 777 that was parked behind it. Christ, it weren't even moving! There's a few of you who crashed into cars that aren't moving, isn't there? I smashed my backlight on a post a while ago. Do you know, I had that backlight done weeks ago now. When did I have that done? And the car has been used since once. You know, and you want, you know, when you've had a repair done or something like that, you want to, you kind of want to test the car out, don't you? Well, we've had no rain, and the car hasn't been out of the garage. That car was fixed on. When was it fixed there? Oh, here we are. Tuesday the 10th of March. Tuesday the 10th of March that car was fixed, and it's been out once up to a mate's house to get my shopping from him. That's the only time it's been out, once in all that time, and not in the rain. And with a light or something like that, you want to know that if it gets rain, it's not going to leak. Well, I haven't been able to do that, unfortunately. A whole month that car's been in the garage. Mad, isn't it? And I can't see it coming out anytime soon. Can't go anywhere. Not allowed. Can we? I mean, I suppose I could run it up to the shop and back. Is there any point? Just to keep oil in the system. I think we asked that the other week. How long can the car... I think my brother-in-law said he had a car outside for months and he turned the engine on to start it and it just started straight away. So maybe it is okay to leave your car in a garage for weeks on it. There must be a period of time like a sell-by date. You know, a period of time where you have to move it just to get the oil back on stuff and all that. I don't know how it works, cars. Don't know. RSP player. Oh yeah, that I'm still using that, Terry, to play out my music. The old ones are the best. No wing mirrors on the planes. That's what it is. Where's that story again? The 6-month-old Airbus was reversing from the gate. Images from the collision show crumpled metal on the Boeing's horizontal elevator. Do they have elevators? Do they? It may mean something else, like a wing or something. I don't know. The Sun reported the images were posted to pilot forums, where aviation staff joked about the incident using the hashtags "Stay 2 meters apart" and "Fly to collide," mocking BA's "Fly to serve" slogan. BA plane having a crash. That don't really happen, does it? BA planes having crashes. The plane had no passengers on board. Oh, well, that's a shame, because they would have all cheered, wouldn't they? You remember being at school when someone dropped a glass and everyone sort of erupted in applause and cheers? Same in a restaurant. Not the posh restaurant. Not in a hotel restaurant. Doesn't have an afternoon teas, dear. Maybe a harvester, someone drops a glass. That's their bit of excitement for the day, the people in the harvester. You know. Not at the Mandarin Oriental when you were drinking afternoon tea. They simply don't drop glasses. End of story. They're trained not to drop them things. The plane, which had no passengers, has a tail camera, but it faces the other way, so they can't see behind them. You would think that plane would be surrounded with cameras, wouldn't you? So you can see exactly where you're going. Apparently not. The pilot would have been relying on ground staff to guide them along the runway. Perhaps they just didn't like the British Airways plane. Both planes were briefly checked over by engineers. BA source told The Sun technically the pilots are trained to keep looking back during pushback. You can only look so far back. It reminds me of when I used to have this British Telecom van when I was working for BT. It was a big van on the back. It was like a big box on the back, and you could not see behind you. End of story. There were no cameras in those days, just wing mirrors. So you'd pull into position, and then you'd have to get out and look behind you before you reversed. Yeah, and if you're going sort of reversing into another road, there's always a danger that some cyclist is suddenly going to appear from nowhere. In the time that you'd walked from the back of that van back to the front, there could be someone there. And you just had to go really slowly, looking in your rear view. The side view mirrors are very good, but there was no rear view mirror. You simply couldn't see behind you. Must be the same for the planes then, I suppose. Dreadful. Last night, BA said an investigation had been launched and a statement added, "Safety is always our highest priority." Oh, that old one, dear. Here we go again. Reading it from a book. The aircraft will be fully assessed before it's cleared to fly. So there we are. I think they need some lessons in flying, that lot, don't they? Dave says it's a flap. Oh, is that what it's called? The elevator, a flap. So the elevator is a flap, is it? Okay. So we learned something there. Thank you, Dave. Mick, it's better off in a garage. Less chance of it getting scrapes with your dodgy driving. How rude. It's stuck in the garage there. Stuck. Claire used to be like that at Butlins camps in a restaurant. Everyone would cheer if the plates were dropped. Butlins, Claire? Oh, you do surprise me, dear. A lady of your stature in Butlins? I find that very hard to believe, Claire. I just imagine you're sort of a Maldives type person. You know, somewhere like that. Or, I don't know, some exclusive resort on Barbados or St. Lucia. Very surprised to hear you say Butlins there, Claire. In a way, I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest, Claire. Very disappointed to hear that. We just assumed that you'd always been posh. Or did you marry into poshness? Has it not... Has it not always been that way for you, Claire? Oh, Gary Butler's arrived. My nephew's arrived. Congratulations on getting up, Gary. He's made it through another night. Morning, Gary. I've lovely FaceTimes with Gary every night. Gary, funny enough, I was sitting there watching Holby last night, actually. I was watching Holby and I was eating my pizza and I thought, shall I ring Gary now and eat my pizza while I'm talking to him? Or shall I wait till I've had my pizza? And at that moment, the phone rang and it was him. Isn't that strange and mysterious, boys and girls? Very strange. It's like something happens sometimes, boys and girls, at the right time. You know what I mean? And you don't know why. How did he know at that point? I was thinking about him, whether to ring him, and then the phone mysteriously rang. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Very strange and mysterious, Gary Butler, last night. Very strange. Claire loved Butlins when she was a child. I keep telling you I'm not posh. Claire says that. No, you don't have to do that, Claire. I know what you're doing. You're lowering yourself. You think you need to lower yourself to fit in with the people that are on here. You don't need to do that, darling. I know those who are on a higher level. Don't worry about it. It's not me. I'm not. I know the people on here, or should I say, the person. The person, no names mentioned, of course. I know the person on here that is on a higher level to other people. And I understand how you kind of want to take yourself down so that you fit in with everyone. You don't need to do that. We all understand how posh you are, my love. And we respect that. We respect that, Claire. Don't lower yourself to their level, my love. You stay being posh. I think it's very important that we have characters from all forms of life on here. Posh people like you, people who are asleep most of the time, like my nephew and Paul and Lou. People who are always late, and people who are just a complete and utter pain. You know who you are. Thank you very much. You're chatting to each other. Good, excellent. Toilet paper. How to make toilet paper last longer. Yes, and don't worry, it doesn't involve hanging it on a washing line after you used it. This is a great way to save toilet paper, and it's so easy. It's so easy. Now, I don't know about you. How do you take your toilet paper off the roll? Do you start pulling it like that? I bet you do, don't you? My nephew gets through 5 toilet rolls per day on his own. I don't know how he does it. Morning to Mark Jones. Morning to you. In the Daily Mirror today, since we're spending more time at home at the moment, it's only logical that our essentials will run out much quicker than they usually would, except for this show. I guarantee you this show is not going to run out anytime soon. Don't worry. You do not need to bulk buy me or panic buy me in any shop, okay? As a result of the lockdown, a number of items, including flour for all the baking, soap and toilet roll, might be classed as gold dust, as they can be pretty hard to find at the moment. Well, I don't know about that. Certainly when I walk past, or when I cycle past the Co-op, which is just down the road there, they got a few stacks of toilet rolls in the front. They have done ever since this blooming business started. Strange, isn't it? A Savvy Money shared her top tip for making toilet roll last longer in the Facebook group Mums Who Budget and Save. Where are we now? Let me just scroll down there. While this hack is perfect for lockdown, it could also come in handy when it comes to the school holidays. She wrote, kids home from school, going through toilet paper faster than usual, and it's so simple. Try squashing the roll. Simply squash the roll and put it back on that little bit of metal that you've got on the wall holding the toilet roller out. When they pull it then, it'll go click like that. You'll only get 1 or 2 sheets out. And you know how annoying that is, because you've been in a public toilet, haven't you? Some of you been in public toilets, been going in public toilets for years and putting your phone numbers on the wall. I know, because I sit there and ring them up. Call Sam for a good time. 07765. I've seen your toilet papers, your phone numbers on toilet walls. But when you go in there, and they've got those single, so you pull it and one piece comes out. How annoying are they? But they're not as annoying as the toilet rolls in public toilets and pub toilets that they've got on a roll, but you pull it and it clicks so it doesn't turn round. They are the most annoying toilet roll dispensers ever. You know the ones I mean. It looks like a roll, and then you pull it and there's some sort of gadget inside there that makes it only and then you pull, and rather than get a nice long bit out, it breaks off. That's even worse than the single ones where you've got little squares that come out like that. So annoying. And so what do? So you get your hand up inside that toilet roll holder, don't you? And you start trying to push the paper round so that you get a decent long strip off there. So annoying. Well, it would be like that. No longer will people like my nephew be able to give it a good tug and like 10 metres. What, I don't know what a metre is, dear. That's a foreign language to me. 10 feet of toilet roll come out and you can wipe to your heart's content or your bum's content. Not if you squash it, you'll be going click, oh, click, oh, click. So annoying. But it could be a way of stopping people using your toilet paper so much. I personally won't have that problem because I don't allow anyone to use my toilet. There is a certain person in this world who will remain nameless, who for whatever reason, when she comes round to my caravan, constantly runs to that toilet. She gets there, it's my sister actually. She gets there, that my caravan is like 20 minutes away from her house, right? She must leave her house practically wetting herself. And then she gets to my caravan, she runs up the stairs. Right? Runs up the little veranda and she said, hello, and she's straight in the toilet, making smells. It's not fair. It's not fair that someone would use my toilet like that. No one uses my toilet. I'm sorry. I'm going to put a lock on it. I'll have another one installed outside for visitors. I hate it when people use my toilet. I find it offensive. There must be a left-wing group I can join for that. A left-wing... Perhaps James O'Brien on LBC can advise me of a left-wing group to join of people that use my toilet offensively. It's awful. So there you go. Just squash the toilet roll and people won't be able to pull it off so much then. All right. Claire goes on holiday to static caravan parks. That's how I'm posh. Oh, please, Claire. Please. There's no point. Stop trying to pull yourself down, darling. You don't have to be at the same level as all these other people on here and me. We know you are. You're on a different. You are above us, darling. Way, way above us. Not as high as the Queen, perhaps, but you are above us all. We know that, my love. When she says static caravan parks. Now, if you know anything about caravans, there are caravan parks for all walks of life. You've got the nasty, chavvy ones where those ghastly people go with screaming children dressed in tracksuits all day long. That's the parents, incidentally, not the children. Screaming their heads off, rowing in the middle of the night, bonking all night long, making those noises. Everyone else is trying to go to. You've got those sort of caravan parks. You've got the caravan parks for the over 50s, which I'm on practically the caravan place I'm on is over 50s. Fairly quiet people, quite pleasant, you know. Oh, hello, how are you? Like a good gossip. You know, like to speak about new caravan owners that have now just purchased. Oh, have you seen that one down there? Yeah, S17. Oh, have you seen her? Oh, she's awful. And the husband. I mean, what does he do all day? It's a bit like that on our caravan site. We love it. All very pleasant. And then you get the highly exclusive caravan sites with gates around them and security cameras and lights. You wouldn't be able to get on one of those. Claire's on one. That's where she is. Pfft. Static caravan. We know, Claire. It's all right. Don't hide your poshness. It's nothing to do with money. Nothing to do with money. Class is nothing to do with money. Look at this class here. And you know, is there anyone here who disagrees with me that Claire is not posh? Please put your message up there now. Claire is posh. Is anyone doesn't think Claire is posh? Please put your message up now, and you will be immediately sent over to Mandy Davenport, who will issue pain and suffering for your remark. You may be blocked. Just warning you. Just warning you. Does anyone not think Claire is posh on this channel? It's okay, Claire. Please be yourself. That's all I ask. All I ask is that people are themselves on this little channel when we're joining in, my loves. No need to hide your light under a bushel, as it says in the Bible. True. Terry Turner on the subject of toilet rolls. I pull off 2 sheets and fold 2 or 3 times. A 16-pack of rolls can last me 4 months. Oh, I've got 140 toilet rolls here. I bought them just before this started, all this business, simply because I just ran out. I was running out. It's a normal order. That's how I normally buy toilet rolls, 100 at a time, and they're in there 6 months or whatever, you know. Claire likes my singing. Thank you, Claire. Would you like a little number today, perhaps? Perhaps I could sing a little song for you today. I don't know. Fran Green is with us. Morning, Fran. She's just done her weekly shopping. Was that online, Fran, or did you go out, darling? Good morning to Leo Wheatland. Hello. Wonder Woman's on her husband's phone now. She's in all sorts of places. Oh, dear. Okay, where are we now? What's the time? 10:30. Nearly time to do the raffle tickets. Not yet. Hang around, gang. We'll do another couple. I've got quite a few stories. I mean, I've got another 3 stories here to do. Boris Johnson, as you know, out of the old intensive care. In fact, out of hospital altogether now, I'm pleased to say. Right? Boris Johnson and Carrie Simmons, that's his girlfriend, have turned to bird watching. I bet he has. He likes the ladies, doesn't he? Boris Johnson and Carrie Simmons have turned to bird watching at Chequers, as the Prime Minister has been banned from riding his beloved motorcycle while he recovers. Mr. Johnson and Miss Simmons, who is a vocal nature lover and environmentalist, are spotting red kites, buzzards and woodpeckers, along with more usual garden birds in the Buckinghamshire estate, a source close to the couple have said. I like nature sounds. Claire likes nature sounds. We love it. We absolutely love it. Also, the Prime Minister has been given a second-hand Yamaha TTR125. It's some sort of motorbike, isn't it? As a Christmas present from his girlfriend. But doctors have banned Mr. Johnson from riding the motorcycle on the estate as he recuperates following his diagnosis. I just can't see him on a motorbike. Can you? Is that a very powerful one? What is it again? A Yamaha TTR125. Let me have a look at that. Let me have a look. Is it a big thing or is it one of them little ones? You know, so how fast does that go? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Oh, it looks like one of those dirt bikes. The mud guards are very high up, aren't they? Oh, it looks quite nice. I can't see him on one somehow. Can you? I just see Boris just being driven around in Bentleys and things like that. So he's not allowed to ride it at the moment, and I suppose I don't know how often he goes on it. He can't go on that very often unless he's in like private places to go on the trips or something like that he does on his motorbike. I can't see it. Can you? Have you got one? My nephews both my nephews had motorbikes. Gary had a great big thing he had, and my younger nephew Jimmy, although he came off his, I don't know if it was a motorbike or a moped, I can't remember now, but I always remember it was on ice. I got this phone call from my sister. Now, don't worry, she says. I just want to tell you, don't worry, he's all right. I said, what's happened? Jimmy's come off his bike and he'd hit a patch of ice and just slid over onto the other side of the road, I think. And fortunately, bit of luck involved here. There was nothing coming the other way. Otherwise, it could have been very serious. I don't know. I'm not sure that he went back on a bike after that. I think he then decided he was going to get a car, from what I remember. Gary, what was the thing on there, Gary? Do you remember what happened? Did he go on the bike after the accident? I don't think he did. So that bike that Boris has got does 80 mile an hour. That doesn't seem very fast to me for a motorbike. I always thought some of these really powerful motorbikes do about 120, 130 mile an hour, don't they? Something like that. Claire, class has nothing to do with money. No, it doesn't, Claire. It doesn't. The proof is there. Some of these people, not all of them, who win the lottery. So they start walking into places and buying. You do what you like with your own money. It's up to you. But you cannot buy class. You've either got it, like Claire, or you haven't. Just because you've just won £25 million doesn't make you classy. In fact, it probably has completely the opposite effect on some people who then think they've got this money, they can do what they want. Hello? No, you can't. No, you can't. You just fit in the same with everyone else. And besides, if I won a load of money, I don't think I'd be telling everyone. Would you? You know, when they go in the paper and all that, in the front page of the Sun, you know, Mark Bowles, is he with us today? Where's Mark today? Mark Bowles, £25 million, and there's a picture of you with a champagne in a very small pair of Speedos, something like that, on a private yacht somewhere celebrating your win. I think you are asking for trouble doing that. I really do. The begging letters will start coming. I get them all the time. Begging letters. Oh, hi, Chris. Please, could you lend me? No, don't lend money to anyone. Oh, but no, I've got nothing to eat. Why? It's not my fault. I've worked all my life for this money. You're not having any of it. Go and get a job. Sorry, I'm a bit like that with that. I really am. Might sound a bit harsh, but I have. I've worked every single day since come out of school at 18, I think it was. Hated school. But no, class has absolutely nothing to do with money. A lot of people with class have got money, yes. You know, but you can't buy it. If you haven't got it, can you learn that? Can you learn class? Yeah, probably you could. I suppose so. You see people going to, like, in the old days, to these, what are they called, those schools? Certainly the ladies the young girls used to go to these schools. I can't remember what it's called now. Hiring schools. Oh, where you learn to be a lady. So I think you can learn to get class. I think you can, actually. But once you've got it, you can't let it go. You can't, oh, I'm not going to be classy today, and then go and get a pair of blooming Sports Direct tracksuits on. No, you've got to dress the part all the time. Otherwise, you lose it again. No, I think you can learn to have class. I think that. Leo's just waiting for his own phone to update. Okay. Oh, is there an update on the iPhones? Is there? Oh, is there? Let me have a look there. I might do that while I'm doing the show. It says updated. Updated. Hang on a minute. Where's that now? Sounds. Is it general? General software update. One moment, please. Checking for update. Oh, there is one. Thank you. Download and install. Download and install. Update request. Update requested. Update request. Thank you very much for that. Always keep your phones up to date. There might be evil criminals trying to steal your information, dear. Very, very dangerous. Daniel, every time he does the whipping sound, I do the accents. Go on, do it. That Mandy, don't muck around with that whip, you know. She draws blood with that. Don't think you're going to get a little tap on the bum. You will be begging for mercy. If I ever send Mandy round to whip you, you will be begging for mercy. I'm telling you that now. Leo's wait. Sorry, I've done that, haven't I? Go on, sing I Only Want to Be With You. That's an old one, Terry, I did, isn't it? We can't. The copyright police, darling, might have us. I don't mind doing it on the karaoke channel because it doesn't really matter if you get a thing there, really. It doesn't really bother me. But not on this channel. We can't be having strikes on this channel or warnings. Thank you very much. Scrolling down there. There's Gary. Not a powerful bike, he said, that Boris Johnson one. Thank you. Sports bikes can reach 200 mile an hour. Gosh. It's just, it frightened. I've never been on a motorbike. Never. Not even a moped. Seriously. Never been on a motorbike or a moped. It would to be flying along the road with nothing around you at 200 mile an hour. You might have your levers and your hats on and all that, but come off that. I understand the freedom thing. You feel free and all that. Can I ask you, Gary? This can be a secret, not to be told to your parents. Okay. It'll be a secret between nephew and uncle, right? What is the fastest you've ever gone on the bike in your younger days? Just can we know that as a little secret on here? Just type it in the chat box. Share it with all of us. And we won't tell your mum and dad. We promise I won't. My lips are sealed. So, tell us, what is the fastest you ever went on that bike? Huh? I'm dying to know. And you wouldn't do it again, would you? Not now with the family, but when you were younger, you know, we all do stupid things when we're young, don't we? Mick's going to win the lottery this weekend. First time I've done it. I just don't do it. Michael lends friends money and gets it back. I don't, Michael. I don't. Seriously. The amount of money I lent friends over the year, and then I just stopped completely. It never came back. It never, ever came back. And it was always like, oh, have you got a fiver? You never see that again. So no, I do not recommend anyone lends anyone any money ever. Ever. Because there'll be that one time, it's always been coming back, and suddenly it doesn't come back. No, don't lend money to anyone. End of story. You don't have to be nasty about it. When they ask, say, no, I'm really sorry, I don't lend anyone any money ever. And then they say, why is that? I said, because it's been lent to so many times. And then they come up with, oh, but you'll get it back and all this crap. Nope, don't lend them any money. End of. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would agree on that one. Rachel is no lady. I'm a tomboy. Tomboy. Terry, etiquette school. No, it wasn't etiquette school, Terry. I can't remember what it was now. Morning to Roy the boy. Hello to you, sir. John Aitken. I sold Debbie Harry whips. I sold Debbie Harry whips for a concert, and she tried them out in the shop. It was very surreal. She was lovely and stunning. She is. 164, Gary. Oh, blimey. Oh. 164. I'll delete that comment, okay? Let me remove that comment just in case anyone dodgy sees it. All right, Gary. 164, blimey. Right. Okay. How are we doing? Gold digger. Right, one more story and then we'll do the raffle tickets. You want to get out, look, start digging around in the garden. You never know what you might find. You never know what you might find. In the Sun today, a mum, bored during lockdown, used her son's metal detector in her back garden and dug up a 500-year-old coin. Probably having a picture of Ray Reynolds on it. This lady had been told the Henry VII fine gold angel is worth at least £2,500. You see, now, I don't know. I think I'd be disappointed if I found a coin, an old coin in the garden, took it somewhere. Yeah, that's worth £2,500. I think I'd be disappointed by that. Would you? I'd want it to be worth like £100,000. Would you? £2,500. You think, well, why did I bother digging it up? I mean, the work she must have gone to look for that. Amanda lives in Portsmouth. Said, have we got any Portsmouth people with us? Eh? Amanda lives in Portsmouth. She said, I was bored, self-isolating. I just wanted to see if I could find anything interesting. To begin with, I kept finding nails. Oh, well, you would do in the garden, wouldn't you? It was so annoying, but suddenly the detector started sounding really good. I've only just finished doing up my garden, and I'm quite meticulous about my lawn. I wish I was. So I really didn't want to dig it up. But I went down about 8 inches with... Sorry. I went down about 8 inches with a trowel and saw... That must have hurt. And saw a glimmer of gold. I couldn't believe it. She started treasure hunting on the beach before having to go in her backyard. Now she must decide what to do with the coin. £2,500. You know, if you don't need the money, that would be quite a nice thing to keep, don't you think? But £2,500 for finding a coin. No, I'd want about 100 grand. I'd be disappointed if I was digging around in my garden and found something that was only worth 2.5 grand. I don't know. Okay, let's do the raffle tickets. It's raffle ticket time, gang. If you want a raffle ticket, please speak now, and I shall dish one out to you gorgeous people. Roy the Boy's internet went off, did it? Oh, it must be doing some work there. Sorry about that. Jason's mum died last week, which I did know about. Jason told me. It's awful, isn't it? Losing your parents. We're thinking of you there, Jason. Sorry about that. Very, very difficult. Did I see someone else? There's Fran. Oh, yes, Fran there. So there we are. Okay. Right, tickets. Let's do these raffle tickets. 899 for Claire. Who's getting number 900? It is Michael Pullman. 900 for Michael Pullman. 901 for Michael Lawrence. Roy the Mandy, 902. Gary, 903. John Aitken, 904. Gary Davidson, 905. Diane Jebb, 906. Jason, 907. Rachel, 908. Stu, you can easily get up to 125 mile an hour on here on the German autobahns, but you've still got to watch for cars wanting to overtake. Yeah, I heard about those German roads. They're very fast over there, aren't they, those cars? They have no limit on those German roads, do they? Must be wonderful, actually, driving along a road and not having to worry about being pulled over or a speed camera going. That must be fantastic, that. Ross Herndon at 909. Tony King, 910. Sean Pine, 911. Roy the Boy, 912. Colin Coates, 913. Fran, 914. Mick, 915. We'll be on to another book of tickets this week, I think, really. Mari, 916. Adrian, 917. I haven't got my emails open there. Gavin, 918. Gavin, 918. Let's just 918 for Gavin. There you go, Gavin. 918. Is that all the email ones? Terry Turner, 919. $9.19 for our Terry. Is that everyone there? Okie doke. Thanks for your pictures there, Carol. I'll upload those onto the system for the show tomorrow, darling. I can't do that instantly, unfortunately. Michael, Piggy Malone, 920. Okay. Right. Anyone missed out from the raffle tickets? Please speak now, and I shall correct your missing tickets by giving you one on here, okay? Meanwhile, we've got just a few birthdays today. Happy birthday, 27 years old today, to Katie Perleberg. Morning, Katie. Happy birthday to you. Michael Verona today is 48 years old. We got Toto. I love that name. Toto Trito. Happy birthday to you. Nice hat on there, Toto. Okay. And we have David Robbins today, who is 32 years old. So happy birthday to each and every one of you, gang. I'm desperately trying to find my birthday song. Where is it? I haven't accidentally deleted that, have I? Oh, there it is. Here's the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you were all singing to our birthday people then, boys and girls. I shall leave you with one more story on the show this morning. Has any of you also been cutting your own hair? You're going to have to do it soon. Either do it soon, get someone else to do it. You won't be able to go to a hairdresser's. I've been doing mine now for a few weeks. I don't find it easy. I do not enjoy doing it, I've got to say to you, but needs be. Well, a farmer in Dublin has become an online star thanks to a video posted to Facebook on the April the 8th, which shows him using sheep shears to give himself a haircut. Now, admittedly, he's got quite long, scraggly hair, so it kind of works for him, doesn't it? Approximately 3.8 million viewers for the 4-minute video at the time of writing. He said since he posted the footage, he has received a tremendous amount of messages regarding the video in his London. Sheep shearers to cut your own hair. Have you used anything unusual? Pair of old kitchen. See, they've got to be sharp, haven't they? You know, like those scissors that you had in school that used to go blunt. You'd be trying to cut a piece of paper and it just wouldn't work, would it? You'll make a terrible mess of your hair, as indeed I have. That's it for the show today. Thanks very much for joining us. As always, gang, been a pleasure chatting to you. I'll see you again tomorrow morning, around about the same time, okay? More raffle tickets for you tomorrow morning as well. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.